So we're going to jump on grammar page 153. Conditional sentences. Conditional sentences. Conditional sentence, sentence which has got if or the alternative of if, because we're putting the condition. And it's got two sides, obviously, two clauses. Conditional sentences, they got two clauses. If clause or conditional clause, and then main clause, or we call it result clause. Result. So we got 3 points, and then we got here, 3 examples and 3 points. The first point, they're talking about first conditional sentences. First conditional sentences are used to talk about a possible present or future situation or its result. So future possibility, we explain, like when we in level 4, level 3, we start teaching first conditional. We say future possibility. So first conditional is future possibility. And there will be will or will not. Will or will not in the result part or the main part. We use will or will not or won't. The conditional part, we use present tense. We use present tense. That's the rule that we need to keep in our mind. Yeah. Now the first conditional. Okay. If part or conditional part, present tense. Could be present simple, present continuous, present perfect. But the result part, it will be will or will not plus infinitive. Or be going to. We can also use be going to, because this is the future possibility. We use any present tense in the if clause, as I said, and any form of the future or modal verb in the other clause. You won't get, you see, you won't get a phone upgrade unless, you see, unless means if not, unless means if not, unless you've got a contract. So you've got here is a present tense, present simple. Can I borrow your laptop a moment? You see, this is modal verb. Can I borrow your laptop a moment if you are not using it? I'm talking about future possibility. Maybe you will give it to me. Maybe you will lend your laptop to me. See, that's why can I? I'm talking about future possibility things. If you are not using it, you're not using it now. You see, present continuous. We can use present continuous. If it stops raining, you see, I'm going to walk into town. I'm talking about future thing. But now it's raining. But if it stops there, maybe after half an hour, maybe, I don't know. I'm talking about future. I'm going to. This is future plan. And that's it. And as we said, in if part, we use present tense, one of the present tense forms. Right. So, let me just finish this part, the first part, and then we're going to go pray, inshallah. Now, point number 2, the second conditional. Second and third, unreal, guys. When we say like a real, unreal, we have got 4 conditionals actually: 0, first, second, third. And we have got another one, we call it mix it. Second and third, when we mix it, becomes mixed conditional. Sometimes I say 5, but it's like 4.5, I would say. They're the 4 real good ones. 2 of them real, 2 of them unreal. 0 and first, they're real. We talk about real situations. But second and third, we talk about unreal situations. So now we're talking about second conditional now. Second conditional, we use for hypothetical. Hypothetical means imaginary, or almost impossible, improbable, impossible things for the present or future. For example, reality, me, I'm not rich. I wish I were rich, you see. I'm not rich. I don't have $1 million. It's probably impossible to have it after 1 year or 2 years. Maybe after 10 years, I might have, you never know. But like coming 1 or 2 years, impossible. So if I had $1 million, you see, if I had, or if I were rich, you see, guys, I'm talking about impossible imaginary situation now. So when I talk about that in if part, I must use past simple or past continuous. Past simple or past continuous, guys. And then the result part, would plus infinitive, or would be plus gerund, right? We use past tense, simple or continuous in the if clause, and would or could or might in infinitive. Or they didn't show it there here. Would be plus gerund, could be plus gerund. Like if I were not teaching you now, if I were not, or if I was not teaching you now, I would probably be working on my YouTube channel, or I would be watching something on YouTube. I would be watching, you see? So I'm talking about the opposite, hypothetical opposite of now. But obviously I can't stop my, class. So example here, how would you know if he wasn't telling the truth? It's like maybe he is not telling the truth. Now he's not telling the truth. How would you know? See, if he wasn't? Here we can put went as well. Wasn't or went. That's fine. If we had a bit more time here, that means we don't have time, what time is finished. But if we had a bit more time here, we could go to the museum. But reality, we can't go to the museum. We ran out of time. Okay, guys. So that's it. Was and where. We can use where instead of was. After I, he, she, it clause. This is for second conditional, yes? We always use, like, if I say, if I were you, when I want to give advice in this structure, if I were you, always were, not was. Always use were. If I were you. If I was you, no good. But if he was here, if he were here, if I wasn't watching TV now, if I weren't watching, no problem. If I weren't teaching you now, if I wasn't teaching you now, no problem. But like if I were you, it's specific, like لو كنت مكانك, I guess yerinde olsaydım. If I were you. We cannot say if I was you here, guys. So that's important. Third conditional, we use hypothetical situation for the past. Something happened in the past, something happened, and I want the opposite. I really want the opposite to happen, but obviously in reality, it doesn't happen. We cannot reverse the past. We can only imagine it in our mind. And so when we talk about that imaginary situation, then we use third conditional. How does it work? In if part, I use past perfect or past perfect continuous. Past perfect, had plus past participle, or past perfect continuous, had been plus verb ing, gerund. And then the result part, would have plus past participle, or would have been plus would have plus past participle, and then would have been plus gerund for the continuous one. And instead of would, we can use could and might, right? And what he says here, the third conditional sentence I used to talk about hypothetical situations in the past, you see? Second conditional, present and future. Third conditional for the past. Both of them imaginary situations. We use past perfect or past perfect continuous, past perfect simple or past perfect continuous in the if clause. Would have or could have or might have plus past participle. As I said, continuous form, we can also use it, like I would have been doing something, but they didn't show it here. I would have bought that jacket if they had it in my size. Reality, they didn't have it in my size. Past, I'm talking about maybe yesterday. They didn't have the size. That's why I didn't buy it. But if they had had the size, I would have bought it. If you'd been looking where you were going, you might not have tripped. Look, if you'd been looking where you're going. That reality, he wasn't looking. Look, past continues. He wasn't looking where he was going. That's why he got tripped. He got tripped, or he tripped. He full. You might not have tripped. See, guys? That's it. Mixed conditional. We've discussed that as well. And I mean, I mentioned earlier, mixed conditional. So if you want to refer to the present and the past in the same sentence, it could happen. Past thing, past event can have present result. Like yesterday, I slept very little, and today I'm tired. It could happen something like that, you know? Or the other way around as well, you know? If you want to do that, present and past in the same sentence, we can mix tenses from two different types of conditionals. Example, I wouldn't be in this mess. That means he is in mess now. The problem, big problem. If I had listened to your advice, that means he didn't listen to someone's advice. It was correct advice, and he didn't listen, and because of that, he is in mess now. So he is trying to imagine the opposite of it. Now, if Jenny didn't still love Mike, that means he still loves present, you see? She would have left him by now. She didn't leave. Huh? She didn't leave him. She didn't leave before. That means she still loves him. What they're trying to say, they're giving two examples for you. In the first, result clause is second conditional. Result clause second conditional. In the second example, third conditional. Can you see that? Result clause, third conditional. And likewise, in the first example, if clause was in third conditional. But now, in the second example, if clause is in second conditional. Third and second. Okay? So that's it. Usually, this one is most common. Usually as something happens in the past and then it has got present result. This is very common. Second one is like very uncommon. We don't use it almost. Now, alternatives now to if conditional sentences, alternative. We call it future time clauses as well. Future time clauses. As long as, so long as, provided, providing, they're all of them alternatives for if. Number one, we often use as long as or so long as, provided or providing, like provided that or providing that, and on condition that instead of if. Why? To emphasize what must happen or be done for something else to happen. Emphasize means to make it more stronger. Like provided, it means if only. Provided that there is one condition for me. Emphasizing. That is often omitted. So like, as you can see, that they're putting in brackets, so we can omit as well. On condition that is slightly more formal. On condition, more formal. On condition. Than other expressions. I'll tell you what happened as long as you promise not to tell anyone. So long as you promise not to tell anyone. Provided the bank gives us a mortgage, we are going to buy that flat. Only if. My boss agreed to give me Friday off on condition that I worked over the weekend. Point number two, we can use whether and subject, and then verb or not, instead of if, to emphasize something is true in either of two cases. The word order can also be, I'm going to sell the car whether or not you agree with me. I'm going to sell the car whether you agree with me or not, or whether or not. Look, whether you agree with me or not, or whether or not you agree with me. In both cases, I will do it. Point number three, we can use even if instead of if for extra emphasis. Again, emphasis. حتى لو. حتى لو. حتى بغندهم. Even if I get the job, let's say I got the job. Even in that case, I'm going to carry on living with my parents for a while. Point number one, supposing and suppose. We ask someone to imagine that something is true. We can also say imagine. Imagine something happened. Supposing you lost your phone, or imagine you lost your phone, or suppose you lost your phone. What would you do? Number 5 is very good one. Third conditional, sometimes we can drop if. We can drop if, guys. So when we drop if, inversion happens. Had I seen the sign? This one, you should the normal one. I'm going to write you the normal one now here. 1 second. Yeah, normal one. If I had seen the sign. Can you see that, guys? If I had seen the sign, the normal structure. But if you remove if, then had I seen, you need to put had before I, like a question structure. But it is not question, by the way. Had I seen the sign, I would have stopped. Why we do that? Again, for emphasis. Again, for emphasis. Inversion. We invert had. Invert, it means we change the place of it. That's it. Okay, so I'll give you some time to work on exercise A. Basically, if correct, we say correct, we tick it. If wrong, we cross it. The first one. If you hadn't been here last night, I don't know what I would do. I would do is wrong because I'm talking about yesterday. This is third conditional. I don't know what I would have done. What I would have done, you see, correction. So yeah, maybe 5 minutes. You go through 1 till 10 and we discuss together after that. Thank you. Okay, number 1. Mrs. Walla, what do you think?
I think it's false. Number 1, we did it.
No. Number one. Here, this one.
Number 1, it's true.
It's true, yes. Number 1 is true. What kind of conditional is this?
Third conditional.
Third. No.
Wouldn't have made me marketing manager if they didn't.
It's mixed.
Mixed, yes, mixed.
Yeah, because like
first part, third,
didn't,
second one, second.
Second, that's correct, yes. And Selma, number 2 is for you.
I think that's true.
The government would accept more refugees if the camp isn't so crowded.
Or is it or does it have to be wasn't crowded?
Yeah, so this is wrong. This is not good. But this second conditional, if the camp here isn't becomes wasn't. So what is the reality here? The camp is very crowded. That's why government doesn't accept more refugees. You see the reality. So the opposite, if the camp wasn't crowded or weren't crowded, we can also say weren't if I want, then government would accept. Okay. Number 3, if you've done all your homework, Amina, are you back?
Yes.
Number 3, what do you think? Amina, correct or wrong?
Correct.
If you have done all your homework, you can go out this evening. That's correct. Which conditional is that?
First.
First conditional, exactly. First conditional, great. Mrs. Walla, yes?
I think number 4 is correct.
We wouldn't be living in Singapore now if the company hadn't been taken over by a multinational. That's correct. Yes, mixed conditional.
Mixed.
Yep, exactly. Selma, number 5. This is also mixed, Selma, mixed conditional.
So I think it's not correct. I think
it's correct. Yeah, it's wrong, yes. But how to fix it?
If she hadn't gotten injured?
If she hadn't got, that's correct. Past perfect. Because reality, she got injured. She got injured. So now if I want to talk about that, the opposite of it, she hadn't got. Excellent. Great. Number 6, Amina?
Correct.
If you have ever been to New York, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. This is first conditional. Mrs. Walla, number 7, what do you think?
I think it's false.
Number 7, Okay, how can we fix that?
They would have got divorced.
If they didn't have young children,
They would have got
they would
divorced.
have got divorced ago. Yes, exactly. So they have got this also mixed. They're using a lot of mixed.
Mhm.
They would have. So they would have got. Okay, very good. Yes. And Salma, number 8.
Correct.
If the storm wasn't at night, more people would have died. Now you see, like this is third conditional. A lot of people died. Why? Because the storm was at night. The reality, Selma. Reality. So we must use past perfect. If the storm hadn't been at night. Yeah, hadn't. If the storm hadn't been at night. A lot of work. Yes, Amina.
Correct.
Yes, this one is correct. If their flight has been delayed, they will have arrived by now. This is first conditional, so this is correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. Mrs. Walla, number 10.
I think it's wrong. I wouldn't have bought the flat if I had known I was going to have so many problems with it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, if I had known. If I had known, past perfect. This is third conditional. Yes, great. Not I knew, if I had known. Okay, guys, great. So we've got B left. Let's work on B as well. One word, that's easy now. Complete the sentence with one word only. Don't use if. We're talking about like unless, so long as, providing, provided. So yeah, let me be silent, maybe 3 minutes, and then we work together after that. Thank you. Okay, we'll do it together now. Amina, number 1.
My father has agreed to lend me the money, providing I pay it back by the end of the year.
Very good. I agree with that. Providing, or we can also say provided. So let's write both provided or providing. Yes, good. I'm happy with it. Yes, Salma, next one, please.
Even if I had played my best, I still wouldn't have beaten him.
Very good. Even. Mrs. Wala?
Number 3.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened to the car as long as you promise not to be cross with me.
Yes, not to be cross with me. Yes, Amina. This is point number 5. Here, where was it? Ah, okay, it was down a little bit here. Yes, point number 5. Can you see that? Yeah. Yeah.
Had the rebels not surrendered?
Yes, that's correct. Because if the rebels hadn't surrendered, there would have been a lot more casualties. When we remove if, it will be had the rebels not surrendered. Okay, very good. Number 5, Selma.
The company will only employ me on condition that I sign a 2-year contract.
Yep. Mrs. Wala.
We've decided we're going to go ahead with the event, whether we sell all the tickets or not.
Exactly. Weather. Amina.
Amy will only get back together with her boyfriend on condition that he apologizes.
Yes. On condition that. Very good. Yes, Salma.
Suppose we do buy a dog who's going to take it for walks.
Suppose. Yes. Very good. Suppose. Or we can also say supposing. So we can write both of them maybe. Supposing will make smaller. Yep. Mrs. Walla, I can meet you for lunch on Friday, provided.
That I don't have any meeting.
Yes, provided that. Okay, last one, Amina.
Had the plane not caught fire, there would have been more survivors.
Yes, that's correct. Had. That's it. So the grammar is done. Time is also up. Let's double check what we got there. Listening. Yeah, the rest of it is going to take a little bit long time, so I think it's better to call it a day. Workbook has got some more exercises, so if you can do that, that would be better, guys. Otherwise, that's enough for today. Do you have any questions you would like to discuss?
No, thanks.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right then, guys. Well, thanks for your time then. Yes. Have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next session again. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.